Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. On this video I want to discuss, as you can probably tell by the title, my experience both seeing as well as opening for the legendary Devil Master. Yes, Devil Master came here to Montreal, I think it was on July 10th, so well over a month ago now as of the recording of this video. It's currently August 30th, 2022, and it is insanely fucking warm here in Montreal, which is why I have the fan going down here. That's probably why there's a lot of weird background noise going on in this video, but you know what? Fuck you. You're just gonna have to put up with it, okay? So, this was a show that I was beyond stoked for because as it pertains to Mistwalker, which is one of the two primary bands that I'm in right now, this is probably the biggest thing that we've ever done up to now. You know, we've played lots of shows in the last year or so. I've put out like 8 records under this name, with a 9th that's currently in the works, which will hopefully come out next year, and a shit ton of other music besides that. But this is by far the biggest thing that we've ever done, and I want to give a huge shout out to my pal David Mitchell over at Blue Skies Turn Black for helping us to get this gig. But I basically just wanted to discuss, as I have in other videos like this, what the experience was like seeing all the bands that were on this bill, as well as opening for one of them. So we actually went on first. Mistwalker was the first band on the bill, and it honestly probably wasn't our best performance, if I'm being totally real with you. Like, it could have been better, but we also were given, like, you know, a pretty strict time limit. The sound at Bar Le Ritz PDB was unfortunately not that great. Like, I could barely hear Aaron's bass, and I was pretty much just going off of Rob's guitar for most of that set. And we also just like completely butchered the song Slaughter Cost, which is the fastest and shortest track on our entire set. And I was a little bit disappointed by that, but it is what it is. You know, not every set is going to be 100%. Not every set is going to be fucking fantastic. So you just got to take the L's when they come, right? After us, there was another local opener, Puffer, who actually, one of the people in that band is like a friend of one of the guys from Devil Master, which is probably how they ended up getting on that bill. Which it was just interesting to me because Puffer is a band that I'd only ever heard of once. We saw them once before at Trackside, like earlier this year. I think it was back in March, April, something like that. And they were fucking awesome. The best way I would describe them is kind of like punk rock plus rock and roll. So like kind of like Motorhead-esque, but like more on the punk side of things as opposed to the metal side of things. And they're really fucking great. Like, I really, really like them. That style of metal punk is just like super, super fucking sick. And all the people in the band were super nice as well. They were just very intense musically and very polite socially. I ended up having a pretty long chat with their bassist, who's embarrassingly, I forget their name, but I think their name on Instagram is like Ass Gravy or something like that. I think her name might be Ashley, but I'm forgetting. I'm blanking on it. But yeah, regardless, they were fucking sick. I was really, really happy to get a chance to see them. And after them, there was another band from Boston. These guys are called the Lousy, and they were probably the band that I was most anticipating to see beyond Devil Master, because their sound is fucking sick. It's like pretty much exactly what I think of when I think of the genre of metal punk as coined by Fenriz. I don't think Fenriz necessarily came up with that genre, but he's definitely somebody who helped popularize that, especially with the works of Dark Throne in the 2000s. And the Lousy are fucking sick. Really, really awesome. Really cool guys. Like, I had a really long discussion with their bassist, John, after the show. He's like a super cool dude. The entire band was fucking sick. My favorite thing of their performance, like my favorite aspect of it, was the fact that their drummer had his cymbals like way high up in the sky. Like, you know, when fucking bands, like when drummers like just crank the fucking length on their cymbal stands and they put their crash cymbals like way up there. So like when they're drumming, it's just like you know, it's fucking nuts. And like it always impresses me when a band plays music that is as fast as the Lousies while doing that, because, you know, trying to close the distance between like a tom and a cymbal that's that high is it's hard, you know. So seeing that is always super impressive. And he had also just this like tiny little splash cymbal off to the side that he would hit every now and then as an accent, and I really appreciated that too. I thought it was awesome. So after the Lousy, it was finally time for the headliner, Devilmaster, and I was a little bit confused because the last 2 times that I had seen these guys, they had a different lineup. They had like 6 or 7 members. It was fucking crazy. They had like 2 guitarists, bassist, vocalist, drummer, and a keyboardist. Yeah, so they had like 6 people. And now they were down to being a 4-piece. And despite being a 4-piece, they still fucking killed it. The only criticism I have of their set is that it was too damn short. I swear to God, they only played like fucking 25 minutes. When, like, you know, as a headlining band, they definitely could have played like 30, maybe even like 35 minutes, maybe even 40 minutes if they really wanted to push it. And that was the only thing, you know. I got in the pit, I moshed for a bit, and then next thing I knew, it was fucking over. Like, what the hell, guys? You should have fucking played a little bit longer than that. But beyond that, like, they fucking killed it. Like, Devilmaster is unabashedly one of my favorite new metal bands of the last several years. Their first record, Satan Spits on Children of Light, is iconic. When that record came out, I think it was in 2019, that was like my favorite record of that year by far. Their newest album, Ecstasies of Never-Ending Night, I think is what it's called, is still pretty good. It's not, I don't like it as much as the first one, but it's still a fucking banger. There's way more like goth rock influence on that record, and they played like a good selection of tracks from that album, considering that this tour that they were on was in support of that record. And yeah, they just really bring the energy, you know. These guys, like, they have just really good stage presence, especially their front man. I forget his stage name now because it's like absurdly long. All the guys in this band, their stage names, their aliases are just like ridiculously long. Like I forget what they're called now. I forget all of them, but yeah, they're just really sick musicians, and I felt really honored to have gotten the opportunity to open for them and to, you know, show my music to them, because some of them did stick around to actually watch the openers, and that was fucking sick. But after the show, we ended up offering them our place to crash at. So yeah, they came and stayed with us. I ended up having a really long conversation with their merch guy / driver, Jake, who's in another band that I forget the name of now. I feel bad that I forget the name of it, but he was super cool. And me and Aaron and him and Francis from Devilmaster, as well as some local punks, we all went out to a bar together and got wasted, and it was just like a super fun night. And you know, I just felt really honored to have gotten a chance to, like, you know, spend time with some musicians who, like, I really respect. The next morning, we all ended up going out to St. Viator Bagel. Of course, that's, like, you know, the #1 like restaurant tourist destination for, like, anyone who's not from here. Everyone's always like, oh, you got to try out St. Viator Bagel, and like, they're good. Like, they have good bagels, but I think that there's like better food in this city, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that was my experience opening for and seeing Devilmaster, as well as the Lousy from Boston and Puffer from here in Montreal. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will be uploading some more soon, talking about some other shows that I've been to recently of big touring bands, including the most recent one, At the Gates, who I saw 3 days ago. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.